This is some sordid scheme hatched between these filthy dwarves and those miserable top-trading lakemen. Those sniveling cowards with their long bows and black arrows. Perhaps it is time I paid them a visit. I am fire. I am death.
Hey guys, DCHL Devin here, and this is Austin, and we are here to give you the first battle of Fire and Water. This is actually probably the first official battle of this scenario online ever, and it's, if you don't know it, in the Battle of Five Armies book, it is the battle where Smaug attacks Laketown. And here playing Smaug, we got this guy. How do you feel about that, Austin?
I feel pretty damn great.
Yeah, it probably does. So, in fact, this shouldn't be hard for him at all. So, Smaug in this battle is by himself, but honestly, he's got every advantage in the book. Just to give you the rundown, this is a 4x4 board, and essentially, I only get a handful of models, really. 36 warriors of Laketown, 12 with bow, 12 with spear, 12 with regular sword weapon. Alfred, the master of Laketown, Boffer, the dwarf, Killy the dwarf, and Philly the dwarf. Bard the bowman with the wind lance. And that's it. So, it sounds like I've got a lot, but most of my guys can't even touch Smaug, so I'm going to figure that out. To add insult to injury, what else can this guy do? I'll let him read the rules for Smaug because he's playing the character.
Yeah. So what, the special rules?
Oh, yeah. Oh, basically, on top of all the rules Smaug already has, they gave him more rules. So,
yeah, in the scenario, Smaug, if he kills an enemy hero, regains a might.
So, I'm going to run that around.
And then there's the fact that also, in the scenario,
on top of him getting an extra rule, I get a minus negative on it. What does he do?
Killy is injured, therefore he can only walk at half speed. He cannot perform a heroic march, nor can he benefit from at the double. In addition, he can't even use combat synergy.
Basically, he's a walking free point of might.
Pretty much.
That's essentially what this guy is. So, we're going to play this match. Now, honestly, I'm going to try my best. Okay, I am going to try to beat Smaug, and we are both new to playing Smaug. We might mess him up as the time goes on. We might realize, oh, we should have done this with him. We're going to play him as logically as possible, though, okay? Austin is, well, you're probably an intermediate at the game now by now. He's beyond the beginner stage, but we will make sure that no dumb stuff is pulled. We're going to make sure Smaug is played to the best of his ability. I should have a really hard time trying to defeat this guy. The board will be on the board made by Right War Game Terrain. A lot of you guys already saw it in the video. I know you guys want a battle report of Laketown versus Azog's Hunters, or some of you mentioned Easterlings versus Dwarves. Those are coming. Okay, we even have a Moria battle report that is already in editing phase. I'm trying to get it online. It's almost done. This stuff takes a lot of time. So once that's done, we will have a Erebor versus Easterlings match on the Battle of Dale. We actually have a full construction of Dale happening. So that's coming, and Azog versus Laketown, that's coming. So stay tuned for that. But the battle you're going to see today, we're about to wreck some buildings. And actually for this match, last thing, the actual match itself is on a barren terrain. We kind of assumed that Games Workshop probably didn't expect us to construct an entire city of Laketown. So in this match, we're actually going to be full of terrain, as should be. And all the buildings have defense 10 and 10, I'm sorry, not 10 wounds, 3 wounds. So they're easy to destroy. Smaug can probably wreck them in a single turn. Not going to be a problem. His fire breath attack will do only a single wound to them. They're not going to be instant death to buildings. So that will be one way to give me some type of chance at all. You will see this model is massive. It's probably the reason why they wanted Smaug to have an open terrain layout. We just felt like it'd be more cinematic if he didn't. The only 2 buildings he won't be able to destroy is the Master's House and Bard's Breakout, which is a bridge series, which I will point out in the video. And lastly, on top of that, in the scenario, you may read that Tariel and the Dwarves are in Bard the Bowman's house in the middle. We're going to actually put them in the Master's house. I know, they weren't in the Master's house. we don't really have a Bard's house, and the Master's house is an iconic building in the center of the map already. It's a lot easier if we just use his house. So for the purposes of this, he's starting there. Other than that, got anything else?
No, well, let's get
He's
to
just
start.
He's ready to kill people.
Yeah, I'm ready to kill.
All right, let's get going.
All right, gentlemen, this is the city of Laketown. This is the town that Smaug is going to come and destroy. I just wanted to show you my positioning. The positioning for this map is actually a little bit weirder than most in the fact that I don't deploy in a warband setup. Instead, my men are kind of scattered all over the place. They deploy anywhere on the board, except for a couple heroes, which I'll mention in just a second. So as far as the men of Laketown, I actually kind of position them in a way that they really are not less than 2 inches from each other. Now, with the exception of guys like behind the Master's house. The reason for this is because the Master's house is indestructible, as we mentioned before, so Smaug would actually have to reach them. His goal is to get to 25% of my force, so I really don't want my guys being destroyed too easily. And I think, honestly, my best way of taking him down is to shoot at him. So I've positioned the bowmen in kind of random places throughout the map. Here's one in the Master's throne room, or I'm sorry, treasure room, and then you got a couple guys. Just they're basically kind of all over the place. The purpose of this is so I can take pot shots at him, and he will have to constantly move and shoot, and essentially only get like one target, while I still have time to kind of shoot him down. Now, obviously, there are ways to get around this, but that's probably thinking the best I can do with not having played against Smaug or with him, or even played in this scenario before. I've never played in anything like this, to be honest. Now, as far as Tariel and them, they are all within 6 inches of the Master's house. We got Buffer right here. He's on the side here. Then we got Oin and Killy and Philly, and actually Tariel is right in the front. Now, I know that seems insane. Okay, why would you put her in the front of the building? Really, I'm just trying to get bow shots out before he will get one fireball through, but I intend to use my might and fate to stop it, so I don't think a single fireball attack is going to give an instant death. Now, here we got Bard with the Wind Lance on top of the tower. Honestly, I'm going to be honest here, guys. I understand this is supposed to be the main way I destroy Smaug. However, I really don't think it's going to be able to do that. And the reasoning for this is because all he's got to do is get within 6 inches of my men. Now, for this reason, and if anyone doesn't know, siege weapons can't fire if good models within 6 inches, or scatter range, actually, I should say, because if they're accurate. So, in this case, I've actually positioned my men. He's got to come across this northern edge right here. So this part right here, where you're seeing, is the northern edge. He's got to come here. I have moved 18 inches away or more, or actually really 19 inches away or more, so in case he decides to fly even full speed, he will not be able to be close enough to any of my men. I will manage to get at least that many shots, and there's nothing he can do about it. Now, I know that I said all buildings are 3 wounds. However, some of these, obviously like this one, are pretty much already destroyed. As soon as he walks on them, he will be able to destroy them. I'm talking about massive buildings, the big ones. He will actually have to break them down. Just simply walking into them will cause 3 strength, 9 wounds, just like a Mumma kill. It won't do this for anything else, but it just kind of gives the image of Smaug walking on it. Like I said, this will have extremely little impact in the game. I really don't think this will add any effect. We just wanted a way where we could play all our houses and still use the big, massive base size that Smaug is. Alright guys, now we're going to go ahead and roll for priority. And here is Laketown, 6.
And 2 for Smaug.
Alright, so Smaug hasn't entered the field, but that gives me some time to set up. Alright guys, since I've already pretty much deployed exactly where I wanted to be, I really don't have any intention of actually moving anybody. So I'm just going to move, well, except for these two. The 2 twins, as you remember, Killy has to move half his speed. I'm actually not going to move him because I do want him to fire his bow if he can. So we're just going to use Philly. Philly will move his 5 inches, or well, actually less, and we'll move him here. Just, I don't really want to be in range of that fireball attack necessarily, but I expect that he won't be able to see him. So that's pretty much it for my movement.
Alright guys, now for Smaug's movement. I'm going to start by moving him on actually only half his movement, so we can actually use his fire attack. I'm going to start here and move him on 6 inches. Alright, there we go. That's Smaug's movement.
Alright, well, 6 inches is intensive fire breath. Keep in mind, fire breath can only happen from the base of the model, not from where the head is.
Yeah.
So we will go ahead into the shooting phase. Alright, guys, this is now the shooting phase. And for this, I'm going to pretty much hit Smaug with everything I've got as far as shooting arsenal is concerned. The first thing I'm going to shoot at him with is the black arrow with Bard. Actually, you know what? Yeah, I'm going to go ahead and just shoot the black arrow. The reason why is because the black arrow doesn't auto-hit, as some might believe. It actually just allows me to re-roll my failed to hits. So I might as well just go ahead and use it while I'm still without of 6 inches of Smaug, and I can actually fire this thing. Unfortunately, once Smaug is in 6 inches of my own troops, I can no longer use the Wind Lance anymore. So this is the only chance I've got. So let's go ahead and roll the hit. And I got a 5, so a 5 and a roll to wound, and I got another 5. It's a strength 10 hit onto Smaug's defense. A 4 up is needed, so that is 1 wound on Smaug.
Wow.
Correction, that is actually half his wounds. Bard is using a siege weapon, which, because Smaug is not a siege, or actually it wouldn't even matter if he's siege or not, but he's a battlefield target, so he actually takes half his wounds away. So he is now at 10 wounds. This is actually a definite serious blow. I think he knew this already, though, when he came onto the field, so let's see what he does in response. This is probably the only shot I've got to actually win against Smaug. Alright, guys, so I'm going to shoot the remainder of my firepower. I managed to cause 10 wounds onto Smaug, but honestly, if you don't start the match with 10 wounds on the Smaug, you pretty much don't have a chance to win. So that's why I fired the black arrow first thing. So next, I've got 1, 2, 3 bowmen, 4, 5 bowmen that all can fire onto Smaug. Unfortunately, Killy will not have the range here, and but Tariel actually does. So, but Tariel's going to need a hell of an in the way shot. So let's go ahead and fire the first set. We got the 5 guys right here. These are all easy shots onto Smaug. He's pretty much open, and we'll see how we kill him. All right, we got 5 shoot to hits, and oh, 2 6s. Awesome. And if any of you don't know, if I roll 6s against Smaug, I hit his weak point. So I will go as an automatic 2 wounds rather than 1, which is kind of irrelevant, but hey, any wound counts. So let's go ahead and see if we rolled a wound. This guy, definitely not. Now, of course, that's the problem. I need a 6 and a 5 to take it down, or a 6 and a 6. So now let's see Tariel's eye view. Can she see Smaug? I'd argue she can see parts of him. And so, I mean, we've got pretty much the head and the body. Definitely an in the way roll, though. So let's go ahead and see if she hits. 5, you know what? I'm thinking, let's might it to a 6. This is one of those few times where Smaug is not in combat. So I'm going to might it to a 6 with Tariel. So she gets a 6, and because it's not a roll of a natural 6 that's needed, it's just a roll of a 6, it will count as a 6. And now to roll the wound, I will need a 6 and followed by a 5. So let's see if we get it.
In the way.
Oh, actually it is. Yep, actually it's in the way. Is that even worth miting? It's probably not. Alright, nah, but we won't do that because actually I'll need to roll to wound and it just won't even be worth it. So she unfortunately hits the wood. And that ends my shooting.
Alright, now to start Smaug shooting. I'm going to use his 18-inch fire breath attack. I'm going to attack this guy here. And yep, I am in range, most definitely. Alright, now to roll to hit, I need a 2 up. And I got a 3. I hit.
Alright.
Alright.
Now, this is a strength 9 hit or whatever, but it hits everyone within...
Yeah, 10.
Or it's like strength 10, that's right. It sets them ablaze. It's strength 9. So, go ahead. It's everyone within 2 inches gets affected. Now, there's no real thing for height here, so I'm just going to assume that those guys on top actually also get affected. So, do you have...
So, it'll get that guy there. Yeah, it'll get that guy there, but it won't get anyone else.
Alright, then let's go ahead and just damage for that. Also, just because we said the buildings are destructible, it'll also do a wound on the building. So go ahead and
We'll do the guy on the ground first.
Alright.
So 3 up to kill.
And he's done.
Dead.
And now the building.
Alright. Well, the other guy actually.
Oh yeah, the other guy. Sorry.
So 3 up to kill him, and he is dead.
Done.
Too.
And now the building. Sorry about that.
Alright, the building.
3.
Strength
10, defense 10.
Defense
Yeah.
Force.
But it is set ablaze. So that building continues to burn every single turn. Yes, they are even going to follow that rule. So we'll go ahead and that's the end of the shooting phase. All right, guys. Now a priority. So for Laketown, got a 4.
And Smaug gets a 1.
Awesome. That allows me to move first. All right, for the goods move phase, I'm going to stay pretty much exactly where I am. I like where I'm at. I'm going to go ahead and keep firing on Smaug with the Wind Lance if he doesn't decide to move. Obviously, he will, though, unless he wants to die. And that should pretty much cover everybody else. Actually, you know what? Nah, you know what? Yeah, we're just going to keep everyone right where they are. Allow Smaug to have to try to chase after all these guys. He only has to kill a bunch of me. But if I'm everywhere, then it'll be really hard for him to do.
Alright, so now on to Smaug's movement. We are going to first move only 6 inches so we can get into range to use some magic. I will use Compel.
On him?
On this guy right there.
On this guy right here?
Mm-hmm.
Alright, so he's using Compel.
I'm going to use 2 points of will.
Okay, Smaug gets a free one every turn.
Yep.
Oh, keep in mind your fire breath costs will as well.
Yes, but I also get the free one every turn, so.
Not fair enough.
Compel. And I get a 5.
Alright, I cannot resist you.
Alright, so he's just going to move 3 inches towards Smaug. And now?
Alright, now for the shooting for the good phase. Smaug has actually moved. I'm not sure if this was planned or not, but was that planned? That you move so close now that I can no longer fire the Wind Lance?
Of course it was planned.
Alright, well, that was a good, actually, good idea. So, unfortunately I won't be able to fire that weapon anymore, so no more free strength 10 hits. So, Bard is not going to really be able to do anything. I will still get the normal amount of shots, though, so we'll still get the 2 guys, 3, 4... Oh, actually, you know what? A couple of these guys died, so yeah, that's right. I only get 4 shots this time. And I believe Philly, can we measure that out? He has 18-inch range. Killy has a dwarf bow.
And he will... Nah, he's
That's
just
the
out.
worst. All right, then unfortunately I can't shoot at the head of the model, but Tariel still gets a shot. And so I'll go ahead and shoot with them. All right, so I'm going to go ahead and fire 4 archers at Smaug and roll to hit. Wow. No. And the roll to hit with Tariel. Tariel's also going to fire a shot. She does hit, and I am going to once again might her. I'm going to see if I can get these shots off. I do have Alfred in the vicinity, so yeah, let's go ahead and do it. So, oh, that's right. We got another in the way test this time. All right, so yeah, mighty to a 6. We'll do it. And in the way, boom, we're good. Roll to wound. 6. What? All right, and we got the last roll. I need a 5 and 6 again. You will never see that. All right. So that is 3 wounds onto Smaug and only using 1 point of might. There you go, guys. That's how you start firing. That's why you take elf girls. So, all right, and that's all the shooting for good. Tariel's used up all her might, or is using it up fast. However, I do have Alfred. He's actually at the base of Bard's Tower, so I'm going to hope to get him to Tariel if she needs that might, which it seems like she will, because Smaug's going to go ahead and breathe fire again.
All right, now on to Smaug shooting. So I'm going to target this guy right here.
The guy standing in the middle right there?
Yep. So it'll hit this building as well.
All right. Will it also hit this guy right here? This guy?
It will not hit that guy right up there. Nor will
Oh,
it
he's
hit
just
this
a little
building. Yeah, the
All right,
building
then.
is literally just out.
Okay. All right, then. So roll to hit. 2.
All right, 2 up to hit. 3.
3 hits.
No.
Wow, the guy doesn't take a win. Roll a win for the building. Awesome. You can roll ones. Alright guys, so we're at the end phase. This building is still burning like crazy. We forgot to continue with burning for the last phase, so we're going to do 2 strength 5 hits. So go ahead.
All right, so these both need 6s. And neither.
Alright. And now to the priority roll. Laketown gets 2.
Smaug gets a
1. Alright, that's still perfect. Alright, so Smaug is still unable to move first, and Laketown is really scared and taking priority here. Alright, so I have this lone guy right here, and I kind of want to keep Smaug sort of where he's at, but I don't want to charge him because I really like shooting at this guy. Seems like it'd be the best way. So he has 7 wounds left. I really think this can work out. So we're going to go ahead and move him 6 inches back. All right, so we're going to get this guy out of here. I'm actually going to run 6 inches this way toward the water. It's actually ruled that these little ice chunks are solid terrain, and they will be able to move from the ice chunks to the boards and cross the river in that way. And he's getting the heck out of there. After that, though, I'm keeping everyone right where they're at, except for Bard. I'm really tempted to just hop him down this building, but we're going to do this safely. I'm going to go ahead and move him 6 inches down this winding staircase, and he will end up right here. And the next one we got is Alfred. So we're going to move him and this captain model. We're going to move them out and toward Tariel, actually. So they're just going to move down the stairs. And like I said, this is just a descension. They just move right into it. And they're going to get to Tariel. Other than that, that's pretty much all my movement.
Alright, so now for Smaug's movement. I'm actually going to charge into combat here with this.
No, you're charging right in, you know? No more fire breaths?
Nope. Time to start ripping things in half.
Alright, sounds good. Actually, I'm pretty sure a lot of people were waiting for this one.
So this guy this guy here, he's actually just within 12 inches.
Is he? Alright.
Yeah.
Okay, alright, great. Then, just remember, you cause 3 strength 9 hits to the building if you collide into it. I understand, like I said, not normal for the fire and water rules, guys, but due to the massive amount of buildings, we need to clear them out in some way. Plus, it's pretty awesome to see him walk all over stuff.
Yeah.
So, go ahead and move into the guy. Alright, so Smaug's moved into the building, so we're going to go ahead and roll to wound the building.
And
2 wounds to the building, so the building structural integrity is almost done. And now he is in combat with that guy on the top. Due to close quarters, we're going to have a little bit of trouble. Otherwise, though, that is the result. And anything else here? No more magic for this phase?
Not for this phase. Yeah.
Nothing really to use here. Okay. Alright then. And on to the shooting phase. Now, because of the shooting phase, unfortunately, Smaug, although not physically in contact with this model, he actually is in base contact with it. We are, this one right here, we are referring to it as in base contact. So, we're going to go ahead and roll for that combat. This ought to be kind of hilarious, actually. So, how many attacks does Smaug get? He gets 4. Alright, so here's my guy, valiantly defending. Oh, Smaug's going to lose. Dude, I got this. Alright, he got lucky on that one, guys. He got really lucky to beat my 2. So, go ahead and roll the wound.
I might actually pick him up and throw him.
Oh, yeah, that's right. You are a monster.
I am a monster.
Oh, that sucks. Alright, so where are you going to throw him?
Ooh, that is a good question.
Now, it goes from the model himself is where you're moving. Mm-hmm. Technically, the 2 bases would be in contact, so you're going along that line right there?
I guess. I mean, the only other real option is to throw him here or to throw him in the building.
If you barge him, you can probably get another combat in.
Oh. Yeah, I forgot about that.
Oh, alright then. Like I said, guys, I'm going to go ahead and help him out because both of us are actually really new to this model. So,
I might actually barge then.
You're going to barge instead? Okay. Barge. Now, he is on top of the building. We are counting that as in combat, also with Smaug in a sense. Since he's in base contact, he would normally be allowed to strike the building if he wanted to. So the barge will do a strength 9 hit to that as well, since that's what barge does with unstoppable momentum. So go ahead and do a strength 9 hit.
All right.
To the model.
5.
Well, the model's dead. Now to the... Was that to the building to the model?
I was saying 5, so yeah, for the building.
Oh, okay. No, I'm sorry. My apologies, guys. That was to the building. So the building is destroyed, and the model?
All right, and the model...
Yeah, the model is also dead. So, 2 wounds to both, and this building is gone. Alright, guys, so the building is destroyed, and we put Smaug where he would have been had he had enough room to fit there earlier. And now we're going to go ahead and roll for that barge. So he's going to barge through 5 inches. Ah, damn it. Alright.
So he could get into him or him. Hell, the base size might even be large enough that I could get them both.
Alright, so we're going to see. We're going to see if we can get them both or just one of these guys.
Yeah.
Alright, guys, so this is looking pretty desperate here. He couldn't get this guy in the middle here, but he could crash into both buildings here, so he's going to do 3 strength 9 hits to both buildings.
Alright.
So let's go ahead and see his results for that. So for the building on the left, and no damage there. So in the building on the right, and 1 wound to that one. So this building is actually not a full-size building, so it actually will need a lot less punishment to take down. So this building actually is destroyed. These ones, these half buildings, will only count as 1 wound rather than the traditional 3. There's only like 2 of these on the map, so you shouldn't expect this too often. Also, the bridge that you will see later on, 1 wound, since obviously it won't take the full amount of punishment. That's pretty much all the ones, just so you guys need to know. So this building is destroyed. No, actually, you caused a wound onto this building.
Yeah.
This building was actually the one that already took 2 wounds. So it's already cracked and gone. Alright, so never mind. This building is destroyed. It will collapse, and Smaug will be on a fight with this model right here. Alright guys, so this is the after effect of the building collapse. The model that was on top will take 3 strength 3 hits for follow damage. The other 2 were just on the porch. They actually didn't fall very far. And then this model right here is in combat with Smaug. So for the fall damage, go ahead and roll 3 strength 3s. And nothing. So the regular combats, let's go ahead and take up my next Valiant Archer versus your guy. 5. Alright, now he really doesn't have a chance to win.
5s.
Alright, you got
5-8.
lucky again. Alright, I'll stop with that. Dude, my little guys are not going to be able to take on Smaug. Now, you may notice, it's kind of interesting, even though the base contact, I understand typically the model's got to be able to fit on top. That's a bit ridiculous when you're talking about a model like Smaug. Smaug will not be able to fight any model in the game if it was dependent on the bases actually physically touching. One, his base is way extended farther than his body with his wings and his tail and his head. So you wouldn't be able to fit into much anyway. So maybe if this whole battlefield was flat, and I guess that was originally intended, but we really wanted this to be more cinematic for our first battle report with Smaug. So he is in combat if it's logical that he would have been able to hit him, which is basically model height of Smaug. So he is in base contact, and the model is lost the fight, right? You didn't actually roll a wound, and so let's go ahead and roll a wound. Done.
Very dead.
All right, and that was end phase for Smaug in the entire turn. The building is destroyed, so we no longer need to do burning tests, and so now roll for priority. Laketown 4. Exactly. Smaug is just too pompous. He keeps losing priority. He's just like, you know what? I'll take my time, guys. I'll let them do whatever the hell they want. So let's move for the good. All right, so let's go ahead and get these guys up. Now, a lot of people would think, all right, well, why don't you just charge Smaug with everything you've got? I'll be honest with you, it's impossible. These guys were all Courage 2, but because of Harbinger of Evil, they're now Courage 1. So charging Smaug is absolutely pointless. This is where I think this terrain and scenario was actually designed, the scenario itself was designed well, because I'm pretty much running around just hoping not to die. The guys are really just running for their lives. I was given a bunch of spearmen and swordmen, but screw that. So he's going to move into the water. All right, so with Philly, I'm just pretty much going to run. I'm going to run toward the nearest indestructible building. Honestly, I really don't see this guy doing much. So I'm going to go ahead and move Boffer around. Boffer is going to move 5 inches this direction. All these Laketown guys are going to now move around the building. Pretty much I'm running for my life. I know this seems like a very cowardly thing to do, but I really need Smaug to be in a perfect position if I'm going to assault him. So he's going to do that. This guy in the treasure room is going to stay pretty much where he's at. And Bard is now going to run down this tower even further. Smaug is only seconds away from pretty much destroying it, so I've just got to get off this thing. So he's pretty much taking his time. So pretty much I need Bard to have time to get off this tower, and obviously Austin knows that. So I'm going to go ahead and try to charge him with this guy right here. And courage test of 1. Nope.
He does not pass it.
Yeah, but barely doesn't. And the other guy's just stuck, so I'm going to go ahead and hop in the ice and move. So he's just going to get the heck out of here. The next guy I'm going to go ahead and charge in is this guy right here. So here we go. And passes. Awesome. So he passes his courage test. He will be charging Smaug. That will prevent Smaug from at least dealing with me until I get everyone where I need them to be. So that lone man is going to die for the cause. And now we're going to go ahead and move Philly. Philly's going to run backward. Oin's going to get out of 2 inches because that fire breath hurts. And oops. And these guys right here, once again, the ice counts as clear terrain. And also, we've all ruled that moving up these will not require climb tests. I know it sounds kind of odd, but that's how we rule it in our gaming community. Trust me, for battles, we've tested this terrain a lot. You really don't want everyone doing climb tests and stuff a million times. So they'll just pretty much run across as if it's clear. And that's right, Tariel can't get a shot off anyway. Tariel's going to move in a way that pretty much gets her into cover. I imagine she's going to be a prime target. So let me move her 6 inches away. And I'm going to move these guys 6 inches this way, so that way they're not just shot up. And this is actually the master right here. So he's pretty much just free might waiting to happen. So that's pretty much the reason I'm hiding him. And that ends the movement for good.
Right. So now we would be in the shooting phase, but because there is no shooting, because nothing can be done because Smaug is in combat, we're going to be moving right on to the fight phase.
All right then. So let's go ahead and get my lone Lynn of Laketown. He's defending Laketown by himself. 2. And he obviously has no children because he didn't care enough to fight hard. So, what do you want to do?
I'm going to barge, actually.
All right, he's using another one of his unstoppable momentums. So go ahead and barge. You'll actually move him 3 inches. I guess you really couldn't hit him into anyone else, so just go ahead and do a normal barge then. So we just assume he moved 3 inches. Let's see if he dies. He does. All right. So, all right, and seeing how far he moves, and he gets a 5. Jeez, you are barging far. So, all right, where are you going then?
You said this building has 1 wound, right?
Yes.
All right, I'm actually going to barge through the building into this guy here.
All right. Well, you won't actually be able to. We found out that he won't actually be able to barge through the building as originally intended. The building doesn't count as a... Well, it counts as he's actually charging that building. So instead, who are you going to charge? Unless you want to charge that building.
Well, the only other movement I can really get into is this guy here with the movement I got. So, yeah. I'll be charging this guy here.
All right, then.
Okay.
Can you get both of them?
No. I would take 6 inches to get to this guy.
Do you want to mite it into a 6 or no?
Well, I could. In fact, that might not be a bad idea, and I would get both of them. Yeah, let's do that. We're going to mite it to a 6.
All right, then. He's miting his barge roll to a 6 and going to get to both of them.
All right.
Like I said, I'm going to help him out, guys. We both need help on this guy. We're going to see how many people he can absolutely destroy. God help Laketown. All right, and for combat for Laketown, let's go ahead. Laketown, 5. And let's see the roll Smaug gets. And
4.
Wow.
I'm going to have to mite that to
Laketown
a 5.
guard beat him.
I'm going to have to mite that to a 5.
All right, it's not all that impressive, actually. Smaug only gets 4 rolls. He will nerf his roll occasionally. So you're miting it to a 5, and of course I cannot do anything about that. So go ahead and roll to wound. Sure.
Double up. First guy. Dead.
Done.
Second guy.
Not dead, but that's okay.
But that's the...
Just roll 4 dice on the other guy.
All right.
He's done. Yeah. All right, there you go.
he's
5. All right, then. All right, now we're in priority. Next turn, Laketown, 4. And Smaug got a 1. Like I said, he really doesn't care what's going on. So, for priority, now, Smaug kind of at a low amount of might, but we're kind of noticing here, Killy's kind of an easy might point, and he can't get away. So we're pretty much going to go ahead and be forced to fight him, or fight Smaug. Other than that, I really don't know how to get him away, and we can't keep shooting at him otherwise. So I think we're going to go ahead and go for the charge. Let's see. All right, so before we move Philly to save his brother Killy, we're going to go ahead and use Alfred. Alfred can cast his ability in the beginning of the move phase. I'm only use, or I'm sorry, the beginning of priority really, but I haven't moved anything. So I'm going to go ahead and roll 1 for Dubious Counsel, see if I can give him just an extra point of might to take on Smaug by himself. And he does. He gets a 1 extra point of might. So now he's at 3 might. And we're going to go ahead and move him 5 inches into Smaug. Going to go ahead and take a courage test. See if we pass. And he passes. So let's move right into him. So Kelly the Brave is going to crush Smaug on his own. One man dying for his country. Or one dwarf, sorry. And Owen's going to follow him just to give him that reroll. And now we're going to go over here to Alfred. Alfred and his cohorts are going to continue to move around this building. You know what? Let's go ahead and take Smaug on. Let's go ahead and do it. I honestly think this is probably the only way to beat Smaug now at this point because I can keep engaging my men. So 6 inches, 6 inches. So let's hope he doesn't win that fight too easily. I'm also going to try to charge this Laketown guardsman. So here we go. Laketown guard. Alright, failed. Alright, next Laketown guard. We're going to take this guy right here. And he's going to also try to charge. So let's see what he gets. 8 fails. So we're going to continue to run Bard down this ladder. Ramp. He's getting there, guys. It took him a while. Of course, he actually ended the battle by the time he got on that tower. But so, last guy, we're going to go ahead and take this guy right here and see if he can charge Smaug. Boom. Charges. So I guess Philly allows him to lead the charge. So, we're going to move him into base contact with Smaug. He's fighting that tail of his. And actually, we're going to go ahead and move this guy back up on the ramp. We're not running anymore, gentlemen. Now, as far as Tariel, Killy, let's go ahead and move him 2.5 inches towards Smaug. He isn't going to get very far, but I honestly think he should help out now at this point. Now, in case these guys fail, I think we should go ahead and move him 6 inches toward the action. But everyone else is pretty much going to stop. So if these guys fail to kill Smaug, my plan is to go ahead and shoot him down again. So I'm going to move her 6 inches back. She is going to stay there. All right, and then we're going to go ahead and move everyone else back. We'll move her back with her. And this guy right here will move back. He actually will have to go a little bit of less speed because he's all over this rubble that's floating in the water. And that's it. So all the rest of them are going to stick around and not move, except for these guys around here. So these guys around here are going to go ahead and move a couple of them. We'll move into the water, or I'm sorry, onto the ice chunks, and try to stay away from Smaug. And that is it for my movement.
All right, so now that Smaug is in combat, I guess let's just get this over with.
All right, it's Philly versus Smaug. And so the lone dwarf versus the lone dragon. Or actually, no, I have another Laketown guy behind him, right?
Yep.
Oh, okay, awesome. So he has a little bit of help, guys. All right, so let's go ahead and roll this out, see how well they do. All right, but before we roll, we're going to go ahead and do a heroic strike with Philly. I'm going to need all the help I can get on this one. So heroic strike, and the result, and he feels like dying today. So let's go ahead and roll off. 2 rolls for Philly. You got a 4. I'm going to re-roll the 1. Actually, I'll see what Smaug's roll is first. So roll Smaug.
6.
All right, no point. So I'm pretty screwed. Roll a wound.
Yeah, I'm gonna roll wounds individually, starting with feeling.
Okay.
Yeah, 3s. No wound.
You re-roll 1s against dwarves.
Oh yes, yeah. So
that's
there's
2 wounds.
2 wounds. 3 wounds.
That's 3 wounds, and I think I'm dead. Yeah, no, there's no way you could possibly survive this. So Philly is gone. Roll your last wound against the
Laketown man.
And he's done too. All right, he's killed everybody. So that attempt was in vain. All right, so end of combat, and Smaug killed Philly and killed another Laketown warrior. So I now know that charging Smaug is, well, I already knew, but I was just going for the bet. that it's possible that charging Smaug could work, so it really doesn't. I'm going to go ahead and roll for priority. So here's priority for Laketown. Oh my god.
Smaug finally gets priority.
He finally feels like doing something. Alright, even though it's his priority, I am going to go ahead and call a heroic action. I'm going to call a heroic move. I really don't feel like being engaged with the dragon, so I'm going to go ahead and call it with the captain of Laketown. And are you challenging me?
Yes, I will.
Okay, so with one of his points of might, he will challenge me. So let's go ahead and roll off. So Smaug 4 up, he wins. So if you can't tell, that is a 6. And go ahead and move him. So what are you going to do here?
Smaug is going to charge into Oin and then wheel into Alfred.
Alright then. So the first thing here is that he is in contact with Oin. Once again, his base is extremely narrow compared to the rest of the model. So he is going to be in contact with Alfred. However, he would also hit this building as he's doing so. And so he will cause 3 strength 3 hits onto the building. Alright, so Smaug is in combat with both Alfred and Oin, which is exactly what I was trying to avoid. So this dragon is pretty much a pain in my butt. Alright guys, since Smaug is pretty much attacking me, I don't really have too much of a choice here. I'm gonna have to start charging my heroes. So Bard is gonna go ahead and charge down the stairs into base contact. So I'm going to roll courage test. He is courage of 5, so Sex will get it. Yep. And he's going to go ahead and charge. The next one's going to be the Laketown Captain. Laketown Captain has 3 courage, so let's go ahead and see what he does. And nope, he fails. He stands there. And Killy also is going to go ahead and charge in. I know this sounds crazy. Why would I do a headlong charge with everybody? It's mostly because I have no choice. I really don't. So as a last move here, I'm going to go ahead and move these guys all around the building. Like I said, not really interested in having Smaug just get easy shots at him. Let's see if I can... oh, actually, you know what? He can fly anyway. So actually, these guys are going to run like their butts off. Moving them. The Master and his cohorts right here, they're going to move this way. And lastly, we got guys in the water. I'm going to keep them there. But, actually, you know what? No, I'm not. He's going to move full 6 inches to here. All right. And these guys are going to move their 6 inches. So let's just get them out of here. The point of all this running away is when he finally beats through my heroes, I'll have some range and distance here away from him where I can start firing at him. Smaug actually cannot attack things that he cannot see at the beginning of the phase, so I can use that to my advantage. He'll be able to fly over this building, but he really won't be able to engage me. Alright, and now we are in the fight phase. So I'm going to go ahead and roll everything I've got against this guy. Bard is going to go ahead and call a heroic strike. He already has a fight value of 5, and now he has 10. So I now outfight Smaug. Alright, now that I outfight Smaug, I'm going to go ahead and roll my dice first. Bard gets his 3 attacks, so let's roll him. 6. Awesome. Alright, well, that's it. That's all I have to do there. So Smaug actually packs up. A bunch of men fought Smaug off. Well, we'll see how long, if that's short-lived or not. Alright, I actually have a quick correction. Actually, I back up because Smaug is an immovable object. So Bard is going to back up an inch, and Alfred backs up an inch, and so does Oin. So all of them backed up from the fight, but that's fine because I can go ahead and wound. So Bard has strength of 4. I'm going to go ahead and try to wound him. So, yeah, that's not going to work. What do I got with Bard? 2 points of might. I'd need a 6 and a 4. I literally can't even make it since I did the heroic strike. Oh, well. Alright, Oin, 4. He can't make it. Is 1 point of might. And Alfred needs a 6 and a 5. Of course, this guy would get the 6. And 5.
He gets the 5.
Hell yeah. Alfred's wounding dragons, gentlemen. So, alright. So, you take a wound. Another one. Congratulations.
6 wounds.
Yep. and to the next phase.
Okay.
All right, and priority for the next turn. And I'm going to roll Laketown. 5.
And Smaug gets a 1.
Yep, yes he does. Smaug gets a 1. So he's back to chilling out. So what I have noticed actually by that last combat, if I really do get enough attacks, or if I actually just beat Smaug in a fight with the heroic strikes, I mean, realistically, I actually stand a chance of winning. So I'm actually going to recharge pretty much, well, I know Alfred did such a good job last time, but I'm calling that up to a fluke. So Alfred's going to go ahead and give a point of might to the captain of, but I'm going to go ahead and give it to Bard instead. I'm just going to hope to God I don't roll a 1. So I really think that Bard can use the might more than anybody else. So here's the roll to Bard. And I'm screwed. Alright, so to represent the fact that Alfred's happy to screw over Bard, even though there's a giant dragon in the picture, we're going to go ahead and see how much might that Alfred gains. He gains 2. So Alfred now has 2 points of might. You know what? Screw it. I'm throwing him back into the dragon because screw this guy. So Bard first, charging the dragon. He has 6 courage, not 5, as I thought before. I apologize. So yeah, he's going in.
He's definitely in.
So he's in the fight. Alfred, you're going in. Of course. You can fail there. I don't even care. All right, Laketown Guard. Laketown Guard is 3, drops 2. All right, that makes it in. So Laketown Guard will be joining the fight. Then we have Oin has a courage of 6. Oh wow.
Wow.
You know what? This is gonna sound nuts, but I don't think Oin's gonna be able to use very much of his stat line. So I'm gonna go ahead and, what is he, 6? So he drops to 5 and he roll of 2 more. So I'm gonna use 2 points of will. So he is now 2 left, and he will charge in. And the last one is Killy. Killy finally limped his way to fight a dragon just to impress Tariel. And impress he will. So all of them are in the fight. Now that I got this dragon pretty much tied up the way I do, I'm actually going to go ahead and charge Boffer back. I know that sounds crazy. Well, actually, it is crazy because I have no one who can outfight Smaug, I think. I'll try it anyway. So he's going there. Tariel is still going to stay right where she's at. And this guy will move 6 inches. And that is it for my movement. All right, and we're back into the fight phase.
So who's making the horror fight this time?
Well, certainly not Bard. So the strike will go to Killy. Killy, you're up. So Killy will make the heroic strike.
I'm not going to challenge.
All right, and I get a 4. So, all right, so I now outfight Smaug again because of Killy. So all my fight values go to 9. He said he wasn't going to challenge me, so I now just take Supreme. And let's go ahead and beat the hell out of this guy. So I'm actually starting to notice that fighting him one-on-one actually isn't all that difficult. He might need to get out of this situation, actually, which is insane. So here's Bard's roll. And,
yep,
well, there's a 6. So let's see if I can roll that again for wounding. So here's Bard. Of course. No. And let's go ahead with Killy. Killy has 2 attacks. He got 1 6. And here's the other roll. He got a 1. So nothing there. But he did get a 6. So he has strength 4, which means I need a 6 and a 5.
Yes.
Or no. 6 and 4. 6 and 4.
No.
Of course. And Laketown Guard Captain. Do I want to spend 2 points of might? I will. 2 points of might, make it a 6. And the reason for this is because the other roll is now mighted, and he only needs a 3 now. So, here we go. Yes, awesome. So, 1 more wound onto the dragon. He is now down to 5 wounds, gentlemen. This is going downhill for Smaug. So, now we're going to do Oin. He got a 5. I only have 1 point of might with him. Screw it. Let's do it. All in, gentlemen. 5 We're going to 6, and now I need, because he has a 4, he would need a 6 and 4. Now he needs a 3. And another wound. So, Smaug is at 4 wounds left. This might actually end well for good. Alright guys, so that's the end of the fight phase. However, I have to make one small correction we noticed later when marking down the Might, Will, and Fate. The Laketown captain actually only has 1 might left. So when I got that 4 and mighted it into a 6 with using 2 points of might, I actually wouldn't have been able to do that. So we have to subtract back from that. He'll get his might back. However, Smaug is back at 5 wounds. So hopefully we still have time to beat him and take him down. So let's go ahead and roll for priority. All right, and for evil,
6.
I believe it's yours.
Yeah, it's mine, because even if you tie.
All right, then. Priority is for Smaug. Now, in this case, because of Alfred's betrayal over there, he's only good for might, so I am going to go ahead and challenge because why not at this point? He can't use heroic fights very well. So I'm going to challenge with Alfred, and are you going to stop me?
Ah, man, at this point, I've only got 1 might left. It's probably not the best idea.
Okay.
I guess, yeah, no. No, I'm not going to challenge.
All right, then. So we're going back into the fray. All right, and so we're going to go ahead and charge back in. So Bard has a courage of 6, drop to 5, and let's see if he can make it. That wins. So now we're going to move Bard into combat. Alfred is going to move in. Alright, so we just realized that Alfred actually has a courage of 3 base, so actually this will get him in. So I'm going to go ahead and move Alfred into the dragon again. So, courageous little guy. Now the captain of Laketown will try to charge in. He has a courage of 3, drop to a 2, and he's in once more. I think they're getting a little cocky now. Wayne. He's in. Hell yeah, we're getting cocky. We're like, it's just a dragon. Let's deal with him. And the last one will be Killy. There's no stopping these guys. So now that I've got my entire army of heroes, I'm going to go ahead and keep running at you with Boffer. Actually, I'm kind of wondering if I should go help out with Tariel too. So, yeah, let's go help out. Let's just run every hero I've got. Smaug at this point. Some of them are a little too far away to make it, but I can go ahead and try. So now now that we got Tariel here, we're just moving it toward. I'm actually gonna move these guys kind of out the way, and I'm actually gonna run the master toward the dragon. I know this sounds crazy, but I'm really feeling like if I can keep up this momentum, I'll be good. I just need to have the might to do so. After that, I'm just hoping on shots. And so let's get everyone within firing range of the dragon, should he win. So he's pretty much there. He's going to be moving. Well, I guess he'll just move there. Okay. And that ends my movement. Alright, and for this turn, I'm going to do another heroic fight. I know this must get tiring for Smaug. Are you challenging?
No.
Alright, he is not challenging again. So, this one will be with Killy, and Killy will need to make a 4 or better. And he makes a 3, which allows me to tie Smaug. So that's actually not good. So let's go ahead and see how this goes. Smaug, roll your dice.
I got a 5.
Alright, you could might that to a 6, but I guess you'll wait.
Yeah.
So let's see what happens. First we have Bard's roll. Bard. You got a 5, so I do tie you. Let's see if Kelly beats you. 6.
Yeah. Alright, I guess I will,
Use your last point of might or no?
Nope, just...
Alright, so as for Smaug, he has decided not to do it because it would just go to a roll-off after that anyway. Not to tie it up. So, here's Bard. He's going to hope that we don't find that weak spot. So, Bard, 6. And Bard is actually out of might because of Alfred's betrayal. So, he's just going to roll a 6. Let's see if he can get a 4 or higher. Ah, that sucks. All right. And next, now we got Killy. Killy is also out of might. 5. Next, we have the Laketown Captain. 2 6s.
Wow.
Nice.
Wow.
All right. Keep him hot, gentlemen. And let's see if he can roll the... He is strength 4?
Yeah.
Yep. So 6 and 4s. 1. So Smaug is officially at 4 wounds. And lastly, we have the infamous... Oh, well, we have a win. Oh my god. 6. So it's possible. Guys, throw your heroes into Smaug. They will take him down eventually. So 6 and 5. 3 wounds for Smaug. Am I correct on this?
Yes, you are correct on this.
3 wounds. How do you feel?
Oh
You did this.
my god. This is hilarious. This is just terrible.
All right, so 3 wounds. We're breaking him down, people. And Alfred. Will Alfred be able to stab him again in the toe? All right, guys. I swear to God, these are not loaded dice. We're rolling the same dice. It's the same pile of dice. So Alfred rolled a 6. He's got to roll a 5. Oh, I'll even roll a different dice. Here, roll the white one. All right, 2. So he did not stab him in the toe. What would have happened? What would have happened? Oh, all right. He still wouldn't have made it. Actually, a 4 could have been mited. Oh, shoot. All right. Hey, use a black dice from now on.
Oh my god.
All right, and we all back off once again. Smaug, 3 wounds. And for the next turn, for the destruction of the city of Laketown, we now roll priority. And for Laketown, 2.
Smaug.
4. And Alfred's going to be a dick once again. And I apologize for the young ears in the audience. He's going to be a butthead because Alfred has already really caused a lot of problems for one of my heroes. He should not cause more problems for Smaug. Heroic move. Will you challenge me?
At this point, I'm freaking thinking yes.
All right, he's going to blow through that last point of might, aren't you?
I gotta get out of here.
All right, my army of heroes is taking Smaug down. He's going to try to escape. Let's see what happens. All right, so Smaug has priority, so 4 up, and he takes it.
No. Of course I don't.
He's not taking it back. So we're going to pile drive him again. He's got 3 wounds less. Let's see what we can do. All right, guys. So first thing is Alfred is now calling it. He is within 6 inches of Boffer. So we'll actually get Boffer into this. So first off, Boffer's going to move closer to the fray. We're really going to need his might. It's going to come in handy here. And then Bard. See if he gets in. 6, drops to a 5, and he makes it. Luckily, Bard doesn't need a very high roll to deal with Smaug. The next one will be Alfred. See if he's brave once again. And he's not. He's 3 courage normal. He could use a will point. No, that's better given off to Mike. So, he's staying there. Captain of Laketown. Oh, wow. This is not good, people. Philly. No, I'm sorry, Killy. In. And Oin. Yeah. His courage 6. Drops to a 5. That'll make it. Now, Smaug is engaged, so I'm going to go ahead and just continue my movement. Dariel is moving 6 inches, so we're going to keep charging her towards Smaug to rescue her love. And the Master of Laketown will be doing very similar. All of the rest of Laketown will be sticking around. I know it seems kind of weird, but like I said, I need to be able to shoot Smaug down, and I'm kind of running out of might. Alright, and for now, the next combat, next to the Master's house, we're going to go ahead and see who wins. Now, in this fight, we have literally no might per side, so it's really all about Smaug. So, Smaug, roll your dice.
There's a 5.
Wow,
You can win.
I can actually win. Alright, so, let's see it. Kelly, see what you got. Oin's going to use one of his will points. Oh my god, I got a 2. Alright. Actually, you know what? Let me just roll them all together. Here's Bard. Did Owen roll? No, he has not. He did a re-roll. So that's it. That's all the rolls I got. Great. No! No.
Smaug wins.
The movies are about to replay themselves. Let's see what happens. Okay, Austin, so what do you want to do with this combat?
I'm actually going to barge.
You're gonna barge?
Yes,
okay.
I'm going to barge.
Alright, so it's a strength 9 hit onto every single target.
Alright, so let's start with Bard. And he takes a wound.
Okay.
Fate.
Okay, we'll just roll it now. Fade him. And he passes.
Alright. Oin takes a wound.
And he fails, so he actually takes a wound, so he's got 1 wound left.
Alright, and then there is Killy, who does not take a wound.
Okay.
Now, however, they are all pushed back 3 inches and knocked to the ground.
Now we went ahead and moved him back already, and where are you going to move?
Well, I'm going to use the barge move to charge actually back into Oin and Gloin. I mean, Oin and Killy.
Oin and Killy?
Oin and Killy.
Alright, so you're going to charge into these two right here.
Yeah, and so I go 5 inches. That'll be more than enough.
Yeah, that's easily enough. Alright, and charging back into the 2 dwarves. Actually, this kind of sucks. Both of them are actually probably going to die here at this point.
They're knocked to the ground.
Yeah, they get knocked to the ground, actually. So yeah, you actually double your dice now at this point. Okay, and let's see what you roll.
Alright, so
Roll
for
to
that
wound 'em.
combat, well, we gotta refight it.
Oh yeah, as well. So yeah, see if you win the fight. 6. There we go.
Won the fight. Alright.
And how are you splitting them up?
So
Oh, you can roll one at a time. If you
Yeah, I'll
want.
start with Oin, rolling 1 at a time, double to 2 because they're knocked to the ground.
Okay. Oin rerolls ones. I'm sorry, reroll 1 against
Yeah.
dwarves. All right, you
No.
really needed a 1.
I guess I'll do 1 more against him. Oh, there we go.
All right, the 4 will kill. Oh yeah, that's it. That's actually all for him. Oh, and you rerolled. Yeah. All right, so he's definitely dead.
Yeah.
All right, so Oin is dead, and you have what? 2 more rolls. So you're rolling ball
And I
against
actually
Philly.
gain a might from killing Oin.
Oh yeah, that's true.
So I could actually possibly might my rolls against Killy if needed.
It'd be kind of silly, but we'll see. We'll see what happens first. Roll 4 dice. I mean, I guess killing him is worth it, but I might just do it here.
And
2
reroll
wounds.
the
You've
1.
already 3 wounds. Yep, Killy can no longer survive. All right, and Killy and Oin are dead. All right, so unfortunately, Killy is dead, and Tariel's probably extremely upset. But luckily, I'm not Tariel the Exile at this point in time, so therefore, I have no penalty for Killy dying actually. So they're just dead. The dragon is back up to 2 might, and I'm suddenly my winning streak is turning around pretty fast. So roll for priority.
All right. 5.
You got a 5 for Smaug. And for Laketown, 2. All right. So Smaug goes first. As for that, Jesus. Yeah, I'm just going to wrap him up one more time. So I'm going to call it with the Laketown captain. I'm going to challenge. Are you going to try to stop me?
Well, I've got 2 might. I will actually challenge this time again.
All right. And so roll on it. All right. Well, dragon's out of there. Or whatever he wants to do, I guess. He's in charge. All right. All right. And so he's taken his action. We went ahead and just moved Smaug ahead of time here. And Smaug has decided to fly to the middle of the lake and actually completely attack Tariel. So they are literally in base contact. And Smaug is taking her on one-on-one fight. I definitely need to save her, but I really can't. So we'll see what happens with that. Now, just to address something really fast that a lot of people might notice, a lot of people might say, well, for heroic action challenging, a 4-up is always required for the good to win. And the book doesn't actually go by that. It actually has a clause in there where you can actually choose, and you can have the person with priority always be the 4-up. That's how we play. We don't like the idea of good versus evil necessarily because it's oftentimes evil versus evil or good versus good. So in these matches in the DCHL, we tend to just pick one, and a lot of times we will do it just as a person who has priority, or just one player always is the 4-up no matter what. So we'll go ahead and continue with the move and see how Laketown falls. So I'm going to go ahead and chase Bard down, actually. I don't know, maybe I should run back up this tower and get the wind lands again. But no, it probably never work. So I'll go ahead and chase Bard down. Run. Oh, he's just out of range actually. So Laketown Captain. Boffer's gonna move toward Tariel. And Alfred is actually gonna stay put. He's not doing too much good there. And the Master of Laketown. Alright, so now it's time to fight with the rest of Laketown here. We're gonna go ahead and engage this dragon. See, or actually, you know what? I'll be Courage 1.
And you'll be. Are you right out of range? Aren't you right out of range?
And you can pay me to leave. So actually, I might.
Oh yeah, because Smaug would be the.
Smaug, so he's worthless in combat. Actually, I didn't think about that. All right, and everyone's gonna run away. So you know what? That guy, that spearman, he's actually going to help Tariel out. So there we go. One for Tariel. So Tariel and this lone dude versus Smaug. Alright, and now the fight between Tariel and Smaug with her lone spearman support. So, let's go ahead and first call a heroic fight, or strike, I mean, with Tariel. Are you going to challenge me?
Part of me says yes, part of me says no. If you win this, you hold me up. I think I will. I will.
Oh, he's going to do it. Alright, so, you automatically pretty much go to 10 probably, but we'll roll you. Here's Tariel. And I go to 10. So, and with Smaug, roll a 1.
Nope, he goes
rolled it. Alright, so let's roll up Tariel first. Tariel has 3 attacks base. She unfortunately will never double up. I got a 6. The last dice fell on the floor, but that's okay, because I got a 6. And Smaug, let's see him. With no might left.
Give me a 6.
So far, no. One of the dice fell on the floor.
No!
Wow, Tariel wins. I actually didn't even need to spend a might there. So, let's go ahead and roll the wound. Tariel unfortunately got nothing. And the other guy. Nothing. Alright, so, nothing happened.
Okay.
And just as an in-game note, I'm not sure, maybe you guys can tell me in the comments, whether you think it's better to use your might on getting the rolls to a 6, like there I had a 5, or using the strikes. Because, I mean, if you had rolled a 6, then I just die. So, I don't know. You guys let me know what you think. And the roll for priority, Laketown, 6. Wow. Who had it last time? You did.
Me.
Yep, so it's Laketown's. And literally almost no one has might now. So I'm going to go ahead and use Alfred's ability on Bard. At this point, if I roll a 1, it really won't mean too much. And I rolled a 3. So, he gets a point of might. And my movement phase. Alright, for my move phase, I'm going to go ahead and charge the Laketown Captain and Boffer and Tariel into combat with Smaug again. I really think now that my men are all over the place, I can't really get any shots. This is the problem with good. Despite this thing being obviously so massive that shooting at it wouldn't be a problem, I unfortunately, as rules is written, cannot fire. So, not when he's in combat and he can easily get there. So I'm going to go ahead and just attack Smaug normal. And the roll for Tariel to get in there. Let's go ahead and will that up. So she's going to use a point of will. Not going to be a problem. She'll probably die before Smaug ever casts magic on her. So now for Boffer. Once again, a crazy low roll. I think his courage is also 6 or 5. Let me check. Alright, so I just confirmed that Boffer is actually only 5 courage. Drops to 4 because of the Harbinger. So, essentially, I've actually decided to go ahead and risk it. I am going to go ahead and will this up to a 5, which still would fail, but I'm also going to might it to a 6. So I'll still have a point of might left with him, but I think this is worth it to try to take down Smaug in this last-ditch effort. So the last one I'm going to go ahead and do is the Captain. So the Captain will now go ahead and roll. And he fails, unfortunately. I really needed him to pass. So, Boffer and Tariel it is. Alright, and the last thing I'm going to do is take these spearmen and rush them around. I actually want to help out the guys, if I can. So, these 3 spearmen, him here. And these two right here are going to move. And that is it for my movement. All right, and for this fight, I actually just noticed we forgot another thing, but this we're not going to go back on or anything. It's just special strikes. In this combat that's coming up, I will be using Piercing Strike, and I think these type of moves are crucial to kill Smaug. It's sad, I just put out a video on using special strikes against monsters. So Tara will be fainting, and Boffer will be using his Piercing Strike. Also, I noticed earlier with Oin, if Oin had to use the stun special rule rather than trying to strike, I may have not caused so many wounds, but I wouldn't have had to use as many heroic strikes. And like I said, kind of new playing Smaug just kind of made me a little lopsided on that, but a little memory lapse. But yeah, I wouldn't have had to use the heroic strikes, and I probably could have beat him normally. So just note, if you guys ever want to take down Smaug on your own, special strikes are definitely the key to beating him. So let's go ahead and do it. I'm going to go ahead and call a heroic strike for this fight phase, and Smaug is unable to match me. So Boffer will call it. 4. Alright, so Boffer has a fight value of 4 already, so that means he is now tied with Smaug. So Smaug, go ahead and roll, see your result.
6.
6, alright. And Boffer, 6.
Ties it up.
Yep, I have priority, so 4 up I win.
Nope.
That's really unfortunate. Alright, so I lose.
Who shall I rip in half?
Well, let me show you
wait.
Boffer. Boffer's Piercing Strike. Wow, of course. I am now really reduced, but it didn't matter. Anyway. You wound me all 3s anyway.
Yeah.
So, let's see your wounds. Who are you wounding?
I'm gonna go against Boffer. He's probably the easier target.
Okay.
Live, actually.
So go ahead and strike Boffer. You only get your 4 dice.
Yeah. And that is 3 wounds.
Strength of 9 onto his defense of really lows now, so he is done. Alright then. Boffer is now dead. Alright, and the next priority for the next move phase is Laketown. 2.
Smaug.
5. Alright, so Smaug moves first. And where are you going with that? Let's see, do I have any might left?
No.
I do not with the captain, do not. Oh, Tariel has. Oh, I should have called a. No, Tariel's done.
No, yeah,
Yep, Tariel's out, and that's it. Bard has the only one left. Alright, I have decided I will call it with Bard. This is my last point of might that I get left. Unfortunately, Alfred is completely out. I'm finding it necessary to prevent him from just using transfix spells and all kinds of craziness. So let's go ahead and call it. Are you going to challenge me?
Actually, I'm not going to. I'm not going to challenge you.
Alright, well then Bard takes it. Alright, as for my courage test, in order to charge in, Bard is going to go first. He passes. Laketown Guard. He passes. Tariel. Jeez, she fails again. I'm using her last point of will. So she is out of will. So she passes. And everyone I need to pass has passed. Alright guys, so this is the aftermath of my movement. Tariel is in combat. The Laketown Guard is in combat. And I've got Bard kind of in the water there. You can probably not see him very well, but he's also in combat against Smaug. So I got the spear supports on all of them, and we'll see how I do with all my dice, because I have no might to stop this thing anymore. So let's see. Alright, and for combat, Smaug is going to roll his 4 dice. If he rolls a 6, can't win anyway. So.
I rolled a 6.
Alright, well, that's it. So, in this case, I charge you, so who are you going to strike?
I'm actually going to Barge.
Alright, well, Barge it is. Let's see what happens. Alright, so now we're going to go ahead and roll a wound. The rules state that any models forced back away from Barge will all take a strength 9 hit, so that will include the spear sports. So go ahead and roll for each one of those.
Alright, so I'll start with the one behind Tariel.
Okay.
And we'll just go around from there. So
Dead.
Tariel's spear support's dead. That's the captain's spear support's next. And He will also die. Bard's Spear Support will also die.
Alright, and see if you wound Bard and Tariel now.
So Tariel first takes a wound. Captain will not take a wound. Bard will take a wound.
Yes, that's correct. Okay, so I'm going to go ahead and roll a fate for Bard and Tariel.
Alright.
So let's see if I can pass these. Here is Bard, 3, and Tariel. I got a 6, so I got to reroll one for Bard, and another 3, jeez, and the last one, and finally a 5. Okay, so Bard's out of fate, but he does survive. Alright, so he just barged, however, the movement's kind of a little weird. So he moved him 3 inches in the direction of his choice, but he just kind of moved him in such a way that they, I guess from Smaug's perspective, if you were to look from it like this, he moved him to the left. So 3 inches to the left and back. And so they ended up kind of still within Smaug's reach pretty easily. It seemed like this was a completely legal move as according to the rulebook, so let's see Smaug's movement.
Alright, so how far does he go? 4.
Alright, and he moves 4 inches.
Which will definitely get him back into combat with all those 3.
Alright, so in this case, you see now that Smaug has recharged all 3 of them. Normally, this hasn't been restricted because normally Barge wouldn't actually do any damage, but because in this case it does, this actually tends to be a nasty trick if you want to kill a hero outright. You just barge him, knock him down, and then just take him out, and it still does the wounds, in Smaug's case anyway. So, we're going to go ahead and refight that combat. Let's see if Smaug wins the fight between Tariel and Bard.
Yep, there's
and they
6.
got a 6. So, go ahead and roll the wound. How are you wounding?
I'll start with Bard.
Okay. Bard has 2 wounds left. Alright, that's a single strike. So
that'll double up.
And the other one, death. Alright, so that's it. Bard's done.
Yeah, Bard.
There's literally no way I can save it. Alright, and who was taking the other 2?
We'll put 1 on Tariel.
Okay.
And that doubles up. So
2 wounds
on Tariel.
Alright, let's go ahead and see if I save her fate rolls.
Yeah.
So, alright, and fate. Are you kidding me? Alright, Dariel's done. wait. Yeah, she's 2 wounds. And I only have 2 fate. Yeah, she's done. Wow, this is a miserable fight face. Alright, and the last one, you have 1 more wound.
Okay, this onto the captain.
Alright, well,
the
there we go. The captain has 1 point of fate. So let's see if he survives.
No.
Alright, well, that is the end of all the heroes of Laketown. I think we can easily see what maybe we were right or wrong, but geez, that was fun. I'll be honest with you guys, we could continue and see how they would just kill all these Laketown men scattered everywhere, but we already know it'd just be a matter of time. There is no time limit onto the game. I have to kill Smaug. He has 3 wounds left. The odds of me ever being able to even fire at this guy is really slim, let alone cause 3 wounds with these guys. So, I think, what do you think? You think we should call it?
Yeah, I think we should call it.
Yeah, Smaug. I'm not gonna lie though, not unbeatable, but definitely very interesting. We'll go ahead and recap it in a moment.
Alright guys, as a recap of the match, honestly I'd have to say we learned a lot here today. I'll be honest with you, I actually thought there was a point in time, and I'm sure you guys probably did too, I was going to kill Smaug. He's actually not unbeatable at all. I mean, what would you say about that?
No, I had the same idea. You were probably gonna kill him. It was sheer luck.
There was actually quite a few moments. I'll be honest with you, I think Smaug's rules are written really well. Actually, this gives me a lot of new perspectives on a lot of different things. I'd have to say the Wind Lance, probably perfect the way it is. As much of it as it kind of sucks at like in normal matches, if it did any, like let's say it was originally in the match I said strength 10 crossbow. If that was the case, then I would have been constantly able to fire at him throughout most of the match. Now, I think he can still get around this. He can compel units into him. He can fly toward him, which we actually started to notice later on. So compel works to increase his threat radius, threat range. And another thing, definitely use spears, the special strikes. If I use a stun ability with Oin, I completely didn't even think about it. Basically transfixes him. So that and the piercing strike, what's up?
That probably would have killed him.
Yeah, and actually, I know there's a couple times I rolled with a 1 with Keely to wound, and if I had just fainted, well, actually, you know what? I did the heroic strike with him, so I couldn't have done it with him. But in other cases, you would see it. One quick note that we did note is I actually would have gotten 1 less wound as well. I apologize about these type of errors in a match, but we will call it. Alfred is unarmed, so Alfred gets -1 to both of his results.
Oh, wow.
It is physically impossible for Alfred to kill or wound Smaug. So Smaug wasn't at 3 wounds, he was at 4. So, yeah, I don't think I actually want to fight with him, though. So that was good.
No.
I just caused a wound, which we can easily just say, all right, that didn't happen. So, yeah, completely forgot about it, but I didn't recognize that. I did recognize it later on. So, you learn things throughout these games. A lot of times you're going to make some mistakes. Not a problem. What are mistakes you think you made with Smaug?
Well, I didn't use his magic as often as I should have. Probably should have been using it a lot more.
Transfixing the arrows.
Transfixing the heroes, if I could have, yeah, transfixing the heroes. Compelling the troops forward so I could actually get into combat so I wouldn't be shot at.
I did like that barge trick you did.
Oh, yeah, that was...
I didn't even really think of that. I'm like, oh yeah, you just kind of like barge him off to the side and let... It's weird, like I kind of wish we were able to show it on tape, but unfortunately it was kind of difficult. But I mean, essentially, he had the model and he just kind of like did it at an angle so that way Smaug could just charge it again. That was interesting. You don't see it with monsters too often because there's no need. If you're going to do that, you might as well just kill them. But with Smaug's case, he does strength 9 hit. So that's something for Smaug players to kind of think about is that barge. You can actually use it to keep, throwing them into combat. Some of you guys kind of already figured this. But it was cool to see it in use for all 3 heroes at the end of the game. I actually enjoyed destroying the buildings in the game.
Yeah, that was fun.
I thought it was actually kind of entertaining. I kind of wish we had gone around and just wiped out all of Laketown, but actually seeing Smaug there is fighting out heroes in the middle of the match, I was cool with it.
That was cool.
Any other thoughts?
It was a very, very fun game. Very interesting. Smaug is actually very fun to play. He's very difficult, actually. Kind of, because it takes a lot of, not really finesse, but just you have to figure out what you're going to do with him. And
he's fragile.
Very fragile, actually.
A lot more fragile than I would have expected. So, absolutely, guys. I'll go ahead and leave you with that, and hopefully you enjoyed the match. We definitely enjoyed playing it, and we'll see you guys next time.